Item 12, comments from council members. Anyone? Irene?
Yes, thank you. I want to give everyone a very brief overview of what I learned at the League of California Cities conference in Long Beach. I'll just give you the titles of the different classes, really, I went to. One was called Engaging Youth, the Journey of Three Cities. And Mr. Ibarra, you would be interested in this program. They had 3 cities describe how they do their government education for with high school students, and they actually do a summer program, and the kids get high school credits for it. So that was interesting. One was called Don't Feed the Bears, Reducing Burglaries in Our Communities, which I will share with the chief when I get a chance. Another one was Engaging and Serving the Homeless Population Through Parks and Recreation. And another was Tools for Funding Our Stormwater Programs. I also engaged with a variety of the vendors, and I wanted to bring to your attention, and Jimmy Tang already has seen this. This is in a plastic cup, a new patching material that they have. It's called Aqua Patch. It comes in a 35-pound bag. It's a loose, dry material. You throw it into a pothole that is, within certain dimensions. If that pothole has water in it, great. You throw that in there. You add water to it, and you can stamp on it. You can drive your car over it. You can just flatten it out. And within they did this for me, and I came back in 25 minutes, and I can show it to you. It's as hard as a rock. And it has a life expectancy of 5 to 7 years. So, again, a new product. And Jimmy, they were kind enough to drop off 2 sample. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but there goes your teeth. They dropped off 2 sample bags, and staff has been using them, I hope, and will tell us the information. So that's just some of the things. I gave the city manager a stack of information 2 inches high, and she's been distributing to different department heads. So,
great.
Unless anyone has questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. That's great. Ken?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, Friday is Veterans Day, and we have the great fortune of having Golden Gate National Cemetery, and each year we have a great celebration program put on by the Avenue of the Flags program, and of which our Carolyn Livingood is involved. But just want to mention that there's festivities that start at 11 o'clock and go for about an hour. And the music starts at 10:30, and there'll be refreshments, free refreshments, donuts and coffee by the San Bruno Lions and Leo Club. And if I could also add just not prematurely, but just an announcement that Relay for Life San Bruno has been merged with the communities of Daly City and South San Francisco to become North San Mateo County Relay for Life. And as much as that, we will be moving the event and are actually in planning stages with city staff to move Relay for Life to City Park on April 29th and 30th. So more information to come. It's a lot of work, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Through the chair, 2 things. In fact, Carolyn Livingood, since you mentioned her name, is receiving an award, and that Ken you're attending the lunch tomorrow? Yes, you are. It's on the email. Anyway, Carolyn Livingood is receiving an award that Warren Slokins, one of the supervisors, is for honoring veteran and the activities that they are doing to contribute. And then lastly, our finance director gave her last reports for this meeting, has some other opportunities. So best wishes and good luck in your future. And also thank you for getting the budget all done, the CIP and the general budget together. So I hope that tradition continues.
Great. Thank you. I just want an update on a couple of items, just very briefly. I received some complaints about water, quite a bit of water leaking right near Elm and Canes, and I understand that this is a San Francisco PUC situation, but I'd like staff, if they could, to update us on it, because it's we're wasting a lot of water, or they are. So people are concerned.
While Mr. Tan is approaching the microphone here, I would just echo the mayor's comments and note for the members of the public who are obviously seeing water running day and night now for approximately a week, I believe, that this is a PUC pipeline, and it is, while it's being attended to, concerns about drought and the timeliness and the efficiency of the repair can best be addressed to the San Francisco PUC directly if individuals within the community have specific questions. And now the director will give us a short update on coordination and information we have available.
Okay.
Hi, had a discussion with Ed Forner this morning, who is the distribution manager, maintenance manager for us at PUC, and he mentioned that, you know, what they had to do is they had to dewater the 60-inch pipeline to inspect the condition of it. And as the water was refilled and brought back, and the pipeline was brought back to service, SFPUC crews noticed a leaking blow-off valve at the intersection of Elm and Keynes, and that's resulting the water to be coming out of that manhole. The pipeline already is disinfected, and it's already in service as well. And after further investigation, the crews determined that they were unable to access this valve, and it needed additional work to excavate and to access it. So with that, they came to the city to pull an encroachment permit for the work, and the valve is about 9 feet deep, is what they were saying. And so they've already started excavating in the area, and you know, they have it plated so far today. But the work really depends on whether they can actually fix the valve. If they can repair it, it would likely be done by the end of this week. If not, it will be by next week at the latest, is what they're saying. But there was a notice that was provided to the residents around the neighborhood, this one here, and that we received as well as part of the encroachment permit. And if the residents have any questions related to this SFPUC's work, they can contact the number 1-866-973-1476 or email Betsy Rhodes, who is the Regional Communication Manager with SFPUC at blaUPPE@sfwater.org.
Great. Thank you, Jerry. Go ahead, Marty.
Yes, I wanted to thank staff for the Halloween event at the shops at Tan Fran. And Carrie Burns, your staff were incredible. The chief was there. It was just a great event. Over 700 kids getting their bags, and the shops at Tan Fran donated 10 $100 gift certificates. So I just wanted to let everybody know what a great event that was, and we had a great time. Thank you.
And just before we close up, Mark, can you give us just a brief update on where we stand with OTO and our new hotel?
Certainly. Very briefly, you'll remember that voters signed a referendum petition attempting to place the purchase and sale agreement with OTO on the ballot. So I'm pleased to report that the city has now prevailed in 2 separate court decisions. So just a quick bit of background. State law says that while voters are free to sign any petition they wish, not all petitions are allowed to be placed on the ballot. So in fact, the only ones that can be placed on the ballot are those that challenge specific legislative acts. So those are things like adopting a zoning ordinance, a general plan, or a specific plan. Well, as you know, the City Council makes lots of important decisions. Those are administrative decisions, like tonight. For example, you entered into contracts, you repair roads, you fix water mains, you approve grants, approve the city's financial reports. Cities can also make important land use decisions, such as adopting a use permit or a variance. So none of those decisions are legislative acts, and none of them are subject to referendum, even though they're very important decisions that city councils make all the time. The petition that the residents signed was about trying to overturn a contract between the city and OTO to sell the property. Well, the city had already decided over the course of 15 years, as all of you well know, that it would zone the property for a hotel, that it would buy the property, that it would rezone it for a smaller hotel, that it would sell it to a developer, that would conduct environmental review, and none of those decisions were ever challenged either in court or at the ballot box. The decision to sell to OTO was therefore just implementing the prior legislative decisions, so the city could not place this matter on the ballot. It was just an implementing decision, not a legislative act, not allowed to be placed on the ballot by state law. Nevertheless, Local 2 and several residents sued the city. So in the first ruling for the city prevailed in the trial court. There was a non-jury trial. The city appeared, Local 2 appeared, OTO appeared. The judge ruled in favor of the city. Local 2 then appealed that decision to an appellate court, and then Local 2 went further to ask the appellate court for an initial stay of the close of escrow. In other words, they filed a motion to attempt to stop the city and OTO from performing the contract that they had entered into. That motion and the appeal has been assigned to a 3-judge panel. There's 3 of them. And those judges just issued late last week a unanimous ruling that escrow can proceed to close. The judges decided that there was no substantial issue of law, that there was no harm to Local 2 or the residents, and no reason to stop the sale from proceeding. What this indicates is that the appellate court does not think that Local 2 has a particularly good case. In fact, it signals that Local 2 is extremely likely to lose the case on the merits of the appeal when it's ultimately decided probably early next year. But what it means for the city is that the city and OTO can proceed to close escrow. That requires OTO to produce construction drawings, requires the city to review and approve them, and be ready to issue building permits. And so we'll be meeting with OTO and our own staff to work out that schedule. And we're also working on a press release to issue in the next couple of days. So with those 2 important court decisions, both at the trial court and at the appellate court level, we think that we can go ahead and proceed with the provisions that were in the purchase and sale agreement.
Great. Thank you, Mark.
You bet.